Hi, this is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. And with me on a late Tuesday evening, I'm delighted to be joined by Archie the Sharpshooter Sharp. Archie, good evening, brother. How you doing, mate?
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking, Archie. Yeah, listen, Archie, commiserations in regards to what went down on Saturday night at the O2 Arena, but that's boxing for you. I think the bigger picture is it was two undefeated fighters who gave us a cracking fight, gave British boxing what they need. So before we talk about the defeat and the negatives and everything else, talk to me about the positives. What does that fight do for you going forward in your career?
Do you know what? It was well needed for myself. Like I haven't had a good fight like that since 2019. So it was well needed for myself. And being co-main event at the O2, like it was packed. There was a lot of people there. It was busy, so the event was great. I was grateful to be back on the big platform. And no, listen, obviously the outcome wasn't what we wanted, but I really enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed the build-up. I really enjoyed the show. And yeah, we move on.
Talk to me about your own performance. Have you had a chance to sort of watch the fight back, and how do you assess how you performed on the night, mate?
No, I haven't watched the fight just back, just as of yet. I'll tell you what's the hardest thing, the hardest pill to swallow for myself is that, look, no, I don't want to disrespect Ryan Garner. I don't want to disrespect his performance. Um, but Archie Sharp lost that because Archie Sharp didn't perform, and it's as simple as that. Um, we see glimpses of the old Archie Sharp in the first couple of rounds where I was making him miss with ease. I made Ryan miss with ease, and that's not me being rude. If you watch the fight back, then you'll see how easily I made Ryan miss. My problem is once the cut happened, I let my ego take over, and unfortunately, I didn't stick to my game plan, and I boxed the wrong fight. And like I say, Archie Sharp, I felt like I lost that fight due to myself.
Yeah, I obviously, I was there on fight night, and I noticed the first couple of rounds you was having a lot of success, and it looked like we had the old Archie Sharp, the Archie Sharp that fought Leon Woodstock, which I was at as well. Probably the best performance of your career, in my opinion. But once the cut happened, it kind of just sort of changed everything, and the game plan kind of went out the window. Is that a fair comment to say, Archie?
Yeah, no, listen, a completely fair comment. And there's no one to blame but myself, like it is my own fault, my own doing by trying to stand there and fight. Yes, the cuts happened. I should have stayed disciplined to what I know and what I do best, and that's box and make people miss and make them pay. Like I say, I didn't realize how much of an ease I can make Garner miss, but like I just it is I don't want to sound like I'm taking a lot away from Ryan because I'm really not. Like I'm pleased for him and his team. Like well done, you done what you done. You got the win. But I think I think I lost that because of myself. That fight was lost. I don't because Ryan done nothing different to what I've been telling people for the last since this fight's been made. Like I've been telling everyone this is what Ryan Garner's gonna do, and I didn't stop that due to my own self, like, and it's as simple as that. Like, it is literally as simple as that. Um, and yeah, we just, like I say, I just got to regroup, and unfortunately, I've had to take the loss to kind of get over that, letting that ego keep getting in, because this isn't the first time where Archie Sharp has got in and wanting to get into a punch up and want to get into a fight. Like this isn't that. That's not the first time it happened against the Mexican guy. It's happened to a couple of occasions now, and I've got away with it. And I think now, like I've had to take this L to kind of realize that you can't keep doing that.
Do you think this defeat, I mean, without sounding harsh or rude or anything, is maybe what you needed to sort of help you wake up going into this next crucial phase of your career?
I agree, mate. I agree, and it's a painful one. But I don't think people realize the Archie like what my life is like away from boxing. Obviously, coming through 2019, I always go back to that year because it was a really good year, like where I've just come off the back of beating Woodstock at the back of 18, and had a really good run. Everything was going really well with my life and my career. I was 100% focused to boxing, and then COVID come, and then all the politics come, and it all just kind of went the other way. My life away from boxing is so hectic. I've got 4 beautiful children, and I've obviously got my wife. I've recently opened up a flooring company. 6 weeks it's been going. Fortunately, it's going really well, but it's kind of all kind of blown up at the wrong time, if you like. And there's a few other little things. My life has been really hectic, and I think what that showed in that performance, how hectic things are. I never stuck to the game plan, where normally I'm always I execute the game plan and I stick to it no matter what's going on, you know. And my manager, my team around me, they all said it after the fight. I know it's easy to say after, but I suppose they didn't want to kind of raise anything. You know, I've got 4 or 5 different trainers in my corner. Like, it's just all very hectic. It's all a bit messy, and I've been getting away with it. And unfortunately, I needed this loss to kind of, do you know what I mean? Cut the shit and say, do you know what? I'm not having 5 trainers. I'm leaving the flooring company aside for a minute. I'm doing this. I'm getting away from the family for camps. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. No, I get where you're coming from. I've noticed that you've obviously had another sort of venture out of boxing, and it's good to see that your side hustle's going well. I've seen some of your pictures on your WhatsApp status. I might have to contact you to come and do a bit of work at mine at some point. But I understand doing this boxing reporting business. I understand just how hectic a boxer's life is. So I know the sacrifices and the commitment that comes along with being a full-time boxer. But in terms of going forward, have you had a chance to sit down with your team? I mean, I know you work closely with Roy Jones as well. Is an immediate rematch something you're going to target, or is it maybe get back in the ring as soon as you can, brush off a few cobwebs, and then look to get that Ryan Garner rematch?
There's no cobwebs needed brushed off, because, like I say, I feel like Ryan Garner won that fight because Archie Sharp didn't turn up. That was Ryan at his best. You're not going to get any more different from Ryan Garner. You know, like, that is going to be him. All we probably, do you know what I mean? All we just applies pressure. Like, you're not going to get any more difference between me and, like, you're not going to get a different Ryan Garner from what you had Saturday night. That was him at his best. So yes, the rematch is something that I want to kind of pursue with straight away, ASAP. Uh, and if they don't take the fight and they don't want the fight, then we push on to another big fight. There's some big names out there still for fights. Got Mick Conlan coming back, Jordan Gill. There's still a load of names in the super featherweight domestic division where we can jump back on and do what we need to do. But I feel like there's already been conversations made. Look, we're only sort of box Saturday night, Sunday. This is just, we've only just been 2 days since the fight, and I'm already in the works of putting things right. I know what went wrong. I know what went wrong, and like I say, I lost that fight on my own self because of what I'd done, and that's what I think the hardest pill to swallow is that I didn't lose that because I didn't get out of the ring and think, oh, do you know what? I didn't know what to do with him. He was just too good for me, or this. It wasn't anything to do with that. It was literally simply me getting the cuts and then coming away from my game plan and wanting to fight in the pocket.
You mentioned that there's a whole heap of names and plenty of directions you can go, especially in this domestic division right now. We've also got Anthony Kakache and Josh Warrington coming up as well on the September 21st card at Wembley. Potentially, would you be willing to welcome the winner of that, jump straight into a world title shot if the opportunity comes to you?
Yeah, for sure. Look, listen, I still don't believe. I still don't disbelieve that I'm going to be a world champion. I know I'm going to be a world champion, and I know that's going to happen. And it's not because I'm not ready. There needs to be a few tweaks in my life, in my personal life, away from boxing, and including boxing. Like I said, I've got 4 or 5 different trainers. You know, like, it's not normal to have all this input. Things need to be tidied up. It needs to be reined in a little bit, and I need to do what Archie Sharp knows best, and that's blood, sweat, and tears, making people miss, and, you know what I mean, boxing slick, boxing being an out and out counter puncher, obviously, and that is as simple as that, you know. So yeah, I can welcome any fight at any time. That's no problem. I want to put this right. Obviously, that's the first fight I want to do straight away. I just want to quickly put that right, and do what I've got to do. And then, yeah, like I say, we'll see what's to come.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next chapter of your career. I've known you a very long time. You've always been good with me, and I've always been excited watching your fights. I go back to Leon Woodstock days. Great rivalry that was. I remember fight week, used to going back and forth, and I remember how good the fight was. So, listen, fingers crossed, an immediate rematch. If not, as you said, there's plenty of options out there for you. What did you make of the main event, Archie? A great fight. Derek Chisora beating Joyce. Did you expect and did you give Derek any chance of beating Joe tonight?
I tell you, so I'll be brutally honest with you. I didn't obviously get to watch the fight because I was, as soon as I come out, I had stitches in the eye. I had to do the tests, and so it was all going on behind the scenes for me, and probably wasn't in the best of frame mind to watch the boxing. But obviously I did hear Derek won, and I'll be honest with you. If I don't know if there's there might have been a couple of interviews out there that have asked me before, prior to that, what did I think? And I couldn't really pick a winner, but I did say I wouldn't be surprised if Derek Chisora comes out and gives it to Joyce. Um, and that's by the sounds of it, like kind of what happened. Joyce went over a couple of times, am I right?
Yeah, he got put down in round 9.
Oh, so that's what I'm saying. So he got put down in round 9, and yeah, so I wasn't far off of it.
Archie, can I get a prediction from you, please, mate? We've got a great fight this weekend. Riyadh season goes over to America in LA. Terence Crawford moving up in weight, 154 pounds, taking on Israil Madrimov. Do you believe that going up in weight could give Madrimov an advantage, or do you just think Crawford right now is too good for any fighter, regardless of what weight it's at?
Yeah, I think there's an advantage there, because that's his weight, and it's just interesting, you know. It's always interesting when these elite level fighters like Terence Crawford and that they step up weight at elite level to see if they can really bring it through. You know, we've seen Canelo do it over many weights, and then come to a stage where he kind of like it got to that weight when obviously when people beat him. So I'm very intrigued to see how that fight goes. I've been watching closely actually with the Terence Crawford and with the camps and things like that on YouTube. So I'm definitely zoned in, ready to watch it. And yeah, no, it's very interesting that Crawford is the man. I'm going to back Crawford to win, but I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a one way traffic and an easy night.
Before I let you go, Archie, I just want to sort of touch back on something you said about getting out of your comfort zone. I watched an interview with Chris Eubank Jr. the other day, and he explained his reasons why he's gone over to Bomac. And then I also watched an interview with Hamza Shiraz, and they've explained why they've gone over to America. Is perhaps you going over to America to do a camp something maybe you might look at just to sort of get your mind fully focused on this boxing business right now?
I think things are being spoken about now. What we're going to do next in regards of getting away. Obviously, like, I've got a beautiful family, and it's hard. I've done it before to going over to Tenerife, but the problem is there. That's what obviously I left Richard after that JFO Forest fight. I've done it a little bit too early, and that was lack of experience with me and Richard with the camps. We were kind of learning on the job, and we done things way too early out there, and hence the reason I went to Al Smith's to kind of learn about um, when to peak, when not to peak, and things like that. Because it's very easy to leave your performance in the gym, you know, especially with someone like myself who trains. I train hard. I'm dedicated to the sport. But yeah, what I will be doing is I'll be looking at options, looking to see what's next, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited, and I think things are needed. Things are needed. So I don't really take this as a loss. It's more of a learning. Obviously, it's a loss on the record, but I mean, it's more of a learning curve for me because it was very much well needed to get me out of that complacency. And you would have thought I learned on the last fight with the first round situation, but obviously I never. So unfortunately, I've had to take this. God works in mysterious ways, and I'm looking forward to the comeback journey.
Well, listen, like you said, it's a learning curve. There are going to be changes made, and like I said, we're looking forward to see what you do next. Archie, before I let you go, brother, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just like always, mate. I appreciate everyone who's kind of watching in and been supporting, and thank you to everyone for the weekend. I thought it was a great show, great event, and without everyone tuning in and being there and coming and support, then nights wouldn't be so special because they wouldn't happen without everyone. So much appreciated as always, and I'm looking forward to the journey back to them winning ways, and yeah, just stay tuned because things are going to get very exciting, and I'm excited.
Well, we're also excited as well. Archie, really appreciate you taking up your time to speak to us during this evening. Thank you once again. We look forward to waiting on some news from you, and we look forward to speaking to you at some point in the future, mate.
No, thanks for having me on. I much appreciate it.
Top man, Archie Sharp, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out, brother.
All the best. God bless you. Cheers.
Thank you.